We are live. Nice. Live, live, live. Awesome. Live, live, live. There we go. We are live. Okay, I can hear it. That's awesome. Okay, we'll close that down. Keep it open, but we'll close it down. Awesome. Hey folks, Jerome Forestwood here. We're over in Canby Park here in the Oakridge neighborhood. Good to see you. I like to walk here. Nice to see you. Adria, nice to see you too. Good to have you on the stream. And Canby Park over here is in the Oakridge neighborhood. And this today is your neighborhood checkup. So here on the live stream today, we're going to do a neighborhood checkup of Oakridge in the Oakridge neighborhood. Tiago, good to see you too. So again, this is a predominantly residential neighborhood. There's a lot of different types of homes in this area. So we're going to go around and we're just going to explore the neighborhood, because how often do you get to come down to Oakridge? Not very many people come here unless they live here. So let's go around Oakridge today and let's find out what Oakridge has to offer. So come on with me right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what's going on in Vancouver today. Come. Come. This is your neighborhood checkup with Jerome Forestwood in the Oakridge neighborhood here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Let's go! Yeah, so first thing we do is we come on over here. Right here in the park. Oh my gosh. There's this amazing, amazing community garden. Okay? Amazing community garden. So this is the Canby Park Community Garden. Look at this. Look at all this lettuce here. And dill. Some people are growing a few flowers here and there too. But yeah. Nice little garden here. Looks like that's Mooshum Bob's spot. This is a fairly tight neighborhood too, when it comes to different housing complexes and stuff like that. Okay. So right here, this park isn't actually a street. This is part of the Langara Gardens. Right on over here. So if I'm walking on the concrete there, that's the Langara Gardens. But this is Canby Park. So let's head on out and let's see what Oakridge has to offer. Now you can see right here, the Langara Gardens is one of those townhome complexes. You got a townhome on over here, and then you live in it. Okay, and they have a nice big park right next to this. Is the naturalization area. You can see there's little trails in there for where the kids are running around. And then you got a nice big mode park too, right here. Oh yeah, this is a real quiet neighborhood. But we'll be heading out to some of the busier streets. So that's where we'll be going. There's some amazing climbing trees right on over here. All of these trees, a bunch of these are really, really good climbing trees. You can go inside underneath the tree and there's all these thick branches to climb on. Even for them adults. No, my climbing days are done. Good enough. Used to lead rock climbing trips every once in a while. So yeah, those days are done. Over here, you can see we've hit a major thoroughway. This, of course, is Canby Street. And this area is really... Adrian is thinking huge trees. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, huge trees. Huge, huge trees. Now look at this right here. No. So this is the part of the gardens that we were talking about, Langara Gardens. Look what's happening to it. Langara Gardens is going to get torn down and turned into this. So it's going to change. And they're going to have approximately 430 social housing units, 760 rental units, and 14,300 condo units. That would be the strata units. And then they're going to improve the park and everything too. It's just like, oh no, wow. Yeah, it looks like they're going to leave the trees though. There's the trees right there. So they're not going anywhere. So if you're worried about the trees, whew, they'll be fine. The rest of it though, it's gonna go, and that's I'm not saying that's good or bad. You can think of it as good or bad. This part's gonna go too. All of that in there is gonna go. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just part of a average evolution of a city. And like, how would we know about this if we didn't come to this neighborhood and document that change? We just documented history, folks. We just documented history. So thank you for coming along and documenting history with me. You can go to someone today and be like, I documented history with Jerome Forestwood on his neighborhood checkup today in Oakridge. This one's gonna go too. And then these look like some modern towers on over here. So yeah, the Langara Gardens. This is part of the Langara Gardens too, but this is gonna stay. These are all the nice towers that are already here. I wonder if they'll make them similar to those ones or not. Langara Gardens is a huge property though. Wow, it reminds me of St. Jamestown over in Toronto. Huge property, multiple buildings, covers a big area. Wow. Wow. Nick, good to see you. Yeah, we're doing a neighborhood checkup in the Oakridge area. The map is starting to fill up. I'll post a picture of the different neighborhood checkups I've done in Vancouver a little bit later today, and everyone can kind of see on the post what's been covered. So yeah, we're over here right now. Good to have you on the chat. Langara Gardens, shops and retail office. Let's check that out in a minute. Let's see what they got here so far. At the Langara Gardens, they got a rental office, they got a 1-bedroom, they got a 1-bedroom, and they got a townhouse, and they got a 2-bedroom. Oh wow. I guess if you're looking for a place to live, like we're not far away from 49th Avenue Station. Like it's literally a good 10-minute walk up that way for most people. For me, probably 5. For Asa, probably 4. Let's head in here. So this is the shops at Langara Gardens. Got a notary, English, Cantonese, Mandarin, and Japanese. Oh boy. A Win Fong, okay. So you're gonna start to see the different diaspora groups that are here. And here's your bank. Oh, it's a commercial banking center. Oh, that's different. And then of course, got your wine and beer and spirits here. Here at Liquor Landmark. And then this is apparently an institution on over here at Dillon's. But it's not open right now. It's going to be really hard for me to get over here at some point in time, but I definitely will have to try. It's a breakfast joint, so you can see the hours right there. But it has this special breakfast right here, $9.95. So had a few people recommend coming on down here and trying this out. Who knows what's going on? Mark, good to see ya. Nice to have you on the channel. Yeah, we're down here on the neighborhood checkup over here in the Oakridge neighborhood. So yeah, good to have you on the stream. How often can you say you've been to Oakridge in Vancouver? Not a lot unless you lived here. So yeah, giving you a bit of a tour. Adrian's saying miss those mini malls. Haven't seen them in years. Yeah, you got to check them out. You got to see what's available here. This is where the life is. You got a pharmacy here. Wow. That's cool. Nice little nail salon. There's one of the buildings to the big towers right there, one of the entrances. And then it just looks like this is a lot of just like look, insurance, dental, a lot more just local. What does the local neighborhood have to offer us? What do they need? Hair boutiques, realty agencies, yeah, all of that stuff. Wow, that's interesting. Acupuncture. You can definitely see the Asian influence on over here. This is 57th Ave. After 57th Ave here, we get into Kerrisdale. You can see on over here some of the towers that are being built right here on the other side of 57th Avenue. Okay. And this is where the neighborhood changes. This is where it becomes, it's Oakridge on this side, Kerrisdale on that side, and there's a big development happening right here too. So there's a lot going on here. Looks like they got some openings here in the last building for Langara Gardens. Imagine if it was like the top floor, and like looking in. Let's keep walking. So this is 57th we're on right now. We're gonna head this way. This is gonna take us along the southern end of the area. Is there more Langara Gardens? Langara Gardens is huge. This is all Langara Gardens, guys. Wow. This place is massive. Wow, I thought it ended right there. No, look. More signs. It's like literally in almost a whole block of just housing complexes. Wow. Just wow. Now let us bend a little bit more. There you go. Yeah. This is huge. Across the way over in Kerrisdale here is the Oak Care Centre. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Wow. Still walking past Langara Gardens on 57th here. This thing is like 5 or 6 blocks big. It's huge. It's not. I didn't even know a housing complex like this existed here. Matt, good to see you. That's wild. That's wild. You see these in Toronto all the time, but had not seen something this big over here in Vancouver. Like I'd seen some of the stuff in Toronto, and some of the stuff over by Chinatown in Strathcona, but yeah. Wow. I think we finally reached the end because they put the zoning notice here Yeah, this whole thing is going to change. Wow. Except for the existing big towers. So this should be, this is anything, this should be the running track here. Wow. Trish Mack, good to have you on the channel. Trish Mack, everyone. Good to have you here. Yeah, I have never been down. I've never explored like Oakridge properly. So this is gonna be fun. This is your neighborhood checkup with Jerome Forestwood. The neighborhood checkup. We go around. We see what's going on. Check out the neighborhood. Check out the homes. Stuff like that. Homes will go for around $1 million here. Rent is pretty average. Around $2,000, $2,400. I can get higher than that if you want. Wow, yeah, Trish, this is an interesting neighborhood. So, definitely interesting neighborhood. So this is part of Sir Winston Churchill Secondary School. They got the running track up here. I'd head up there, but it looks like they got like a kids camp or something up there right now, so let's stay out of that. These are baseball diamonds over here at the high school as well. I will tell you this much, okay? The internet access out here is on point. I have not run into an issue yet. So that's saying something really good about the neighborhood. Because some neighborhoods, we're going up into the Churchill baseball diamonds here. Over at the local high school. Yeah, there's nobody up here. Yeah, there's some soccer camp going on over there. Local high school right here. It's just wild. Love these like giant mowed fields. And like they're not closed off to the public. There's some places in downtown Vancouver right now and in the West End where they just have the stuff closed off to the public. So over here they expect you to use the school grounds during off-school hours. That's pretty cool. That's a beautiful area. You can see if we're looking over here, you're not seeing the mountains anymore. We're below the crest here on the west side of town. That allows you to see the mountains. And that's something really important to remember when you're in the different parts. If you want a mountain view, you gotta be on the other side of Oakridge to get a really good mountain view, even if you want a tiny one. So, something to consider if you're choosing where you're choosing to live. The mountain view doesn't bother you. Well, this is a great neighborhood on over here. Heck, Trish should have lived here. That's cool. So this is Laurel Street here. We're gonna head on over to Oak, and then we're gonna head north on Oak. So we just passed the local high school there, and we're back into the giant housing complex of Langara Gardens. Oh wow. That was just huge. So now we're on over here, and what looks like a whole lot more single family dwelling homes. So let's keep going. There's Oak Street right there. What is this, an empty lot? Oh wow, a home used to be here. It hasn't been one here for a long time though. Wow. Somebody must be holding that property. This, I believe, is a retirement home, if I study the map correctly. And here is the entrance to the retirement home right here. Beautiful entrance. Look at this right here. Nice place. This will be the Sunrise Senior Living. You're a senior and you're living in this neighborhood. Wow. This is actually a good choice. It's a predominantly safe neighborhood. Okay, we haven't seen any of the issues that you would see in the downtown core here. Not at all. Which is fascinating to see. The problems just don't appear to exist out here. That's interesting. Let's cross the street and see what's going on. Gonna walk north on Oak Street. The boundaries of the neighborhood go further, all the way over to Granville Street, but we're gonna head up Oak. This is one of the main corridors here. You can go up Granville if you want. On your own, gives you something to do that I didn't cover. So let's keep going. Wow, what a neighborhood. We're going up Oak Street, seeing the developments on Oak Street. 2 and 3 bedroom homes starting at $800,000. And it looks like they're going to be townhomes. For Vancouver, this is actually a reasonable rate right now. Home prices might come down a little bit further than this. Okay? So, based on what I've heard on the news, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form, but yeah, this is rather reasonable for a 2-3 bedroom home. That's going to be a townhome. Wow. Yeah. And just see how the developments is really kind of hanging out in neighborhoods that are often overlooked. This is where a lot of the changes in this city are happening right now. Just quietly. Look at this gate right here. And then you got these giant single family dwelling homes here. And they're not like giant, like they're giant for Vancouver. But what's giant for Vancouver can sometimes be average for Ontario and Calgary. Across the street, that's the local synagogue. There's a very, very large population of Jewish groups that live in the area. That's a Temple Shalom synagogue. So if you are living in the area, you will be living in an area that it has a lot of Jewish groups. And if you actually look up synagogues, they actually start popping up all over this area. So it's pretty interesting to see. Keep wandering through the neighborhood, and checking out what it looks like for you. Now this area used to have a mall called the Oakridge Centre. That mall is actually no more. It currently has a massive development being built on top of it here. Here's another one of those development applications right here. So they're going to tear down a whole bunch of these properties over here. You can see the roof of one here. Okay, and they're going to build some nice townhomes here. 26 to be exact. And it's going to look like this soon. So it's going to look like. Very interesting. Where moments become memories. Across the street, you got the local Church of Christ. There's one of the local buses in the area. It's probably the Oakridge bus, Oak Street bus. And you can see out over there, fairly modern building type right there, taking up that area. While you have these single family homes just kind of taking up a few spaces here or there. Even this one had a for sale sign at some point in time. Now, the changes that you're seeing coming to areas like the Oakridge area are changes that are happening all across the city. You don't really recognize it as much when you're in the downtown core because there is just so much density there. But when you're out here and you see one single family dwelling home come down, then you realize they're going to build more density there, more people are going to be able to live there in the future. You can just see how neighborhoods are growing and changing here in the city of Vancouver. And that's much needed. Vancouver's gotten to a point now, and I saw the city of Toronto get to this point when I was growing up in that city, where it just needs to change and evolve. It's gotten to a point where a lot of the buildings are a lot older, even the newer ones, and they need to tear down to build the new, bring in more people so we can have a bigger tax base and you know of course house more people. Look at this. So there's probably a single family dwelling home just like this home right here. Right here, there are probably 2 or 3 of them. And look what they've done here. This is brand new. Okay, so there is like 15, 16 units right here on over here now. So 16 individuals, probably more than that, live here. City is so changing, and this is what really can unsettle people who live in this area and who live in these areas and have lived in here for a whole lot of their lives. These changes. Okay? Sometimes it can devalue the cost of their home. Sometimes it can raise their property taxes to levels that they don't really want. A lot of different things. So you can recognize and you can see like how both sides of the argument are. We do need more density for people to live, okay? And while the NIMBYs over here in neighborhoods like this, and not everyone's a NIMBY in this neighborhood, a lot of people actually are inviting the development in. But the small group of NIMBYs in this neighborhood, as well as other neighborhoods across Vancouver, really fight to keep these neighborhoods single family dwelling homes, and well, you can't grow a city and keep a city thriving if you're only raising one round of families. Sometimes the NIMBYs don't realize that, especially when their kids have grown up and moved on and they're fighting to keep their neighborhood the way they are, but eventually they're gonna pass away with their partner, and then if the neighborhood hasn't changed, so no one else will get to move in until they're gone and out of the way, which is unfortunate. I would just mean a neighborhood would just shrink. Just shrink. Brooke, hey Jerome, hope you're having a great day. Sending highs from Portland, Oregon. Brooke! Brooke's in Portland, Oregon. That's awesome. Good to have you on the stream. Yeah. We're over here in the Oakridge neighborhood doing our neighborhood checkup here on Jerome Forestwood. Good to have you on the stream, Brooke. And enjoy Portland. A little south of us. That's a great city. That is a great city. Here's 49th Avenue right here. I was just riding. That's kind of ironic. I was literally riding on the SkyTrain and two of the guys in front of me were from Portland. They had like name tags and everything because they were coming from Canada Place for some conference. That's wild. Brooke's over there. Here's one of the Sports for Sports buildings right here. You're not going to see a lot of retail in the area, and what you do see is what you get. But like this area is going to become a major retail hub again. Once they get finished with the Oakridge shopping mall complex, they're going to turn it more into like a model of a 15-minute city. You can like that or lump it, that's what they're doing. I'm just stating fact. We're going to head on over here to Faux Hat and Jazz and Tea. Too funny. I'm visiting family. Definitely miss Vancouver already. Fair enough. Family's important though. That's good to see. Nah, I'd rather you get to visit family and then you get to come back for the rest of the good weather. What can you say? What can you do? So this is the intersection of Oak Street and 49th Avenue, and again, we're only a few blocks away from, if this is Oak Street here, Cambie Street is over there a couple blocks down. You're real close to the SkyTrain station. There's a SkyTrain station here on 49th over at Cambie Street to our east, as well as over on 41st and Cambie. So you can see there are some good choices here. A&W wouldn't be my first choice, but I've lived in this area. I'd probably eat a lot of A&W. They are renovating over here at Sushimura. So not sure what's going on here. Okay. But Jazz and Tea is right here. And it's part of Faux Hat. And I heard that they have a Vietnamese coffee in here. So let's go see if we can get a Vietnamese coffee. Drabo! Nice to see you. Good to have you on the stream. Let's head in, see what we can get. Da 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 da. Hey? They do pho here and That's perfect. You too. We're just gonna put the strip. I'd get a banh mi, but Asa served like pizza for lunch, and I was like, oh, I'm so full. Yeah, Jerome, good to have you. Let's try this right now. This Vietnamese coffee is nice. It's sweet, tangy. It's got a good taste to it. I really like this. I will definitely be coming back here. That's good. Try it out, jazz tea right here. Or jazz and tea. Right there. And that's part of Pho Hoa, which is the larger Vietnamese restaurant here. So yeah. Then there's some dry cleaning right on over here. Oh, a whole bike shop. Dry cleaning and bike shop. Okay. And dance shop. Interesting combo. Let's keep going. They have a skate sale on at the bike dance and dry cleaning shop. Wow. Wow. I've never seen so many interests combined together into one shop. You can even get your skates cleaned there. Oh, we got more of these housing units right here. Okay, this neighborhood is just dominated with like housing units upon housing units. Wow. And not just like single family dwelling homes, like big complexes. Here we are, back to the homes. Now, like, look at this right here. These are newish townhomes. And then across the street, you got the same phenomenon over there. Let's see if this. Wow, they even got the for sale sign still out here. And like, that's the problem right now, is that people don't have enough money. We've entered a period of technical recession, whether they're calling it a recession or not. Technical recession, so you don't have a lot of people coming on in and buying homes. So look at this, you can still get a home here. Wow. Wow. So this is 47th Ave here. And that's really what keeps things interesting. So I guess if you're looking for a home, this neighborhood would definitely be a place to look for. A place to live. You'd still be paying a pretty high mortgage for a smaller home. It's probably going to be a townhome or a condominium unit. You're buying a whole home to yourself, and you'll probably be paying more than the people who bought the single family dwelling homes paid for when they bought their single family dwelling homes. This wasn't necessarily always a desirable area, and that's important to remember. The downtown core was always the most desirable area for development. That's why it's so built up right now. Over here it wasn't, so people would come out to these areas here and they would build their single family dwelling home and on a nice parcel of land. I'm talking like way back in the day. And then, you know, they just pass it down, and now we have these homes out here that are $1 million plus, $2 million. just because the land value is so much here in Vancouver. Absolutely amazing. And this is exactly what I saw in Toronto. Once you start running out of space for single family dwelling homes, the next thing that gets built is low-level condominium units, either on like a fourplex or a sixplex. So fourplex, 4 floors, sixplex, 6 floors, or townhomes. And what you're seeing right here is townhomes. And on this side too, right here. These are a little older, but they have not been here as long as the single family dwelling homes. It's more like 80s, maybe 90s. Keep walking. But Josh, nice to have you on the stream. Look at this thing right here. This is just begging to be torn down. I bet no one lives here. I don't think anyone lives there. That's the other issue, is that sometimes you'll see homes just like the one I just pointed to. Okay. Where it's basically just an empty home and just left derelict to fall apart, and the owner doesn't mind paying the fees because they're just waiting for somebody to come by and offer them a whole lot of money to build something even bigger. It's almost a similar home, but just this one's better kept, much nicer. I bet someone lives there. Again, more townhomes here. So only once you start to get the townhomes or the fourplexes or sixplexes in, after that, that's when you start getting mixed housing. You'll have some developers that just want to build like 11-story towers, and and other people that want to build 30. The city will put limits on how high you can build, and then they'll just give up and break those limits once the developers give them enough money. And of course, lobby hard enough to be able to have the city change how big it is. And once the city starts seeing these townhouses getting filled up, and you can tell, like, we've been walking through the area, these townhouses aren't yet totally filled up yet. There's still spots for sale, especially in the newer buildings. Okay? Only then will they, it'll take a few years. Okay? They're not going to build, take down the townhouses yet, but the townhouses also need to spread out to the other areas where they're developing too. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Now, a lot of the development is happening over here because of the big complex we're going to take a look at in just a few minutes. Looks like there's some kind of church and conference center across the way here. It's called Unity. I have no idea what this is. So It looks like you can rent it out as well, based on the signs they have there. Looks like a non-denominational church too. And here we are at 41st. And look at this right here. So you rest assured, you can assume that the building's probably going to be built almost as high as this crane. And there you can see some of the foundation going in right now. So welcome a few other people who come on to the stream. Today is our neighborhood checkup, where we go to a neighborhood that we wouldn't necessarily always go to here in Vancouver, and we do a checkup on it. We check it out, see what it's like, see what food's available, what's offered. So Vietnamese is available here. Stop by some of the major retail areas, even if it's more of a residential neighborhood, and just see how the people treat you well too. Everyone over here has been so friendly. Christian, good to see you. Nice to have you on the stream. Yeah, so friendly. So we'll cross the street here. This is another Jewish center right on over here. The Nathan Academy is in here too. I believe that's a Jewish school, but feel free to correct me if I got that one wrong. There's a nice cafe in here too, but it usually closes by now. It's like a 2 p.m. close. I don't understand why some of these cafes only open for breakfast, but if that's their business plan and it's working for them, fair enough. So this is the border. On the other side here is the South Cambie neighborhood. We checked that out actually one of the last neighborhood checkups. I don't think the last neighborhood checkup, but the checkup before that. Oh, there's going to be more here. Okay. So it looks like they're going to build a child care facility here as well. So they already have this building, you can see right here. Looks like they're going to add a child care facility in there. Okay. For 65 more children, you know what that means. With all the new townhouses here, they're expecting a lot of children to move into this neighborhood. And if they're building a child care facility, the first thing that they're expecting, I believe this is a large Jewish center we're walking past too. Like fitness center and all that stuff. Yeah, it is. Here it is here. So this is the Jewish Community Center. So yeah, they're expecting a lot of families to move into this area. A lot of younger families to move into this area. And they're not going to be old enough necessarily to go to schools yet, but that's another issue on over in these neighborhoods. The schools are starting to hollow out. There's starting to be fewer kids. So when they build the townhouses, that'll bring the new families in. That'll refresh the neighborhood. Okay. Bring more families in. They'll raise their kids for 18 to 24 years over in this neighborhood. Kids will eventually move out and the cycle repeats itself again. So, yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see how this place changes. It's going to get a whole lot more denser here. I wouldn't be surprised if these parking lots at one point in time in the future disappear. This is a pay parking lot right here. Yeah, Christian, it's a nice day out today. It really is. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's probably around 19 to 20 degrees. We'll head down Willow here, but now we're going to be able to see some of the Oakridge Centre that's being built over here, over by Willow. We could walk down to Tisdale too. So there's a few options here that we can choose. Maybe we'll do Tisdale. Looks like Tisdale is occupied. You can see the construction. So this is like a new building just built here. You can see some of the construction behind it too. Okay. And we'll be able to see that the more we walk around the neighborhood. I've shown this neighborhood before in a few videos. So there's the local high school right here. King David High School. This is your classic West Coast California design right here. Very low level school. No real towers here. All one level. This looks like a private academy as well, so they don't need a whole big place. The internet signal is absolutely fantastic here. Again, though, we're walking around a few $1 million homes, but these aren't affluent people. These are people that found their homes become affluent. Okay? And the homes are being bought up now. And so these people are getting paid a lot of money to sell their homes. If you have a home in this neighborhood right now, a single family dwelling home, and the closer you are to the old Oakridge Mall, probably the more money you're gonna make. Wow. Beautiful homes, beautiful homes. I love when you have a parking bay like this. I just love it. Okay, so we're over at Tisdale. I say Tisdale, but it's Tisdale. I'm learning the street names as we go along through here. So it is Tisdale. I stand corrected. Tisdall. Tisdale is a name that I know from Toronto. So sometimes I'll just replace those names in my head. Hey, what can I say? That's where I grew up. And of course, we live over here now. And we have for a while. As I was doing the math, it's like 4 years there now. I was like, wow. So there you can see behind these buildings here, there's some more of the development. You can just see how high these towers are going to be. They got to be like a good 30 flights on over here. Richard, nice to see ya. Yeah, it's good to see the names back to normal. I don't know how long that's going to hold up, but it seems to be working right now, so that's good to see. Good to have you on the stream. Yeah, you're on Neighborhood Checkup right now. And we are over here in the Oakridge neighborhood today checking it out. So good to see you on the stream. Beautiful home. It's like my old grandma's home. Okay, mind you, she lived in Niagara. Okay, her home was not worth multi-million dollars. I think her home eventually sold for like $500,000 or something like that. Because it was over in Welland. It's in a very affluent area at all. I have other family all over the Niagara area. And the family that's there now has found themselves living in multi-million dollar homes, and they're not rich people in any way, shape, or form. Their home prices have just skyrocketed over there too. My grandma's not around, and she hasn't been around for a while, so you'll think about her every once in a while, but that's about it. She had a good long life. Beautiful home. I love the tiles. That's a whole apartment building. There's a few units in there. Let's keep going. Oh wow, I didn't even know this. Look at this like area right here. Okay, so if we walk into this back parking lot, we can see a bit more. So you can see one of the towers right there. Super huge. And then I bet at one point in time you could just walk down this way and walk into the back of the old mall that's there. Okay. There's some more of the development right there. And the multi-towers too. There's actually 2 towers there that we were looking at. So, yeah, this neighborhood is changing super fast. Super fast. Again, how often do you check out the Oakridge neighborhood? How often do you just walk around these neighborhoods? Like, this is pretty significant right here. Look at all these different towers here. Wow, and they're not skinny towers either. These are fat ones. About 8 floors. On this side, look at that. Across the street, old school housing units. This actually stretches out a little bit till around there. That's where it starts, and then it's houses zone over there. This is like over here. This could be condominium units, but in Toronto, this would be community housing, and it looks like condominium units. Just a little too nice. A little too nice. Nice gardens and stuff like that. Yeah, they're rental suites. Hey, Crook. Hey, you get a 1 bedroom and there's a pool here too. When we were in Toronto, we lived in a place that had 2 pools. It had 1 outdoor pool and 1 indoor pool. That was fun. That's where Asus started to learn how to swim. He's not the greatest swimmer in the world, but he knows how to float now. He can move from one end of the pool to the other. That's about it. Yeah, look at that. Wow. I didn't even know this stuff existed in here. This is like quietly tucked away on over here. So nice, so nice. And these places look like bigger units too, because they're older buildings on over here. So the new buildings on over here we're looking at right now. So we'll keep walking down Tisdale Street here. Trish, is there no retail at all where the mall was? I used to buy my groceries at the Woodward's food floor. No, it's all gone. It's all gone. It's all under construction. Everything is under construction. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Nope. No siree, not at all. So fascinating though, eh? Yeah, Trish, things have changed drastically. Things have changed drastically. Give me a sec. Yeah, it was a really nice mall. I heard good stories about it. Believe it or not. People actually ask me to go back to that mall quite often. I'm just like, it's not there anymore. No. We walk a little bit further down here and we're over to the next area. Yeah, it's gone. Jerome, you're down memory lane, nice suburb, wide roads and large plots of land. No wonder they are building towers. Folk there look after their gardens. So true, so true. The other reason they're building towers here is because of all the housing complexes. So that's another thing that you'll see. You can see that happening in Toronto right now too. They'll often revise the old housing complexes before they start tearing down the single family dwelling homes. So yeah, it's interesting. There's a whole mix of different things, stuff in my head. I can talk about the evolution of cities and stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, you do make some good points. And yeah, where there is homes, they really do take care of their lawns really well. Wow. There we are. I think we're over at Tisdale Park. Or Tisdale. Look at this right here. That's a nice housing complex. Nice big balconies for people to live in. Great for a couple. You got one kid, you could get away with it. You got two kids, it's probably too small. That's what happened to my parents. Parents had to go and buy a home. They bought a home for such a $250,000, I think. And then they bought another home for $180,000. And now those are multi-million-dollar homes, even the old one that they sold. So we're over here. This is Tisdale Park. There's no one really playing in the playground right now, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm walking around the neighborhood here. I just did a video through this area. This park is beautiful. Super huge. And there's a circular path almost through the entire park. So worth coming down to and checking out. And this over here, this isn't just a kid's playground. There's an adult workout playground right here too. So different tools for different types of physical activity, and there's instructions on what you need to do. Very cool. And then some nice gardens too. This one here is the Seniors Community Park. And it opened in 2009. Nice shady part if you want to walk through the shade. And then just a huge park. Huge park. Look at how big this thing. Let's take the loop. So welcome to Tisdale Park. Oh, we're down one bar. Hey, Crow. Coming over to say hey. There guys. Big old field on over here. Multiple baseball diamonds, soccer fields, and right next to a school. They have a summer camp running out of the school here right now. So the school gets used year round. School. They had a whole bunch of kids on over here with bicycles, so I think it was a cycling camp. I have a few of those. here in the city. They're very popular with the kids. They get to bring their bicycle in. And then the counselors just kind of set up a whole bunch of different activities around bikes. They have a good time. And the younger kids that don't know how to bike learn how to bike. Really helps out with the independence too. I can only imagine like this place, like look at this right here. They got like 3 solid built picnic tables over here too. Okay. I could definitely see families coming on over here to enjoy the day right here. And see those picnic tables right out there right now. This just tells you so much about the city and so much about the neighborhood that's here. And the picnic table right there. And then finally one more right on over there. And over here, Trish, there you go. So where you used to go grocery shopping, they're now building. And they're building more in the middle too. A whole new mall and everything. So the mall will come back, but they have to finish this project first. That's going to take another year or two. It's actually going along very quickly. So yeah. The only thing that's still there is the Crate and Barrel, and that might not have been there during the 80s. And that's in the old medical center. That probably was there during the 80s. So this will take you down to 49th Avenue Station. Right on over here, but that's where we're going to get out. So we're going to keep heading on through the neighborhood. Look at these trees. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. And again, more of these townhomes. But yeah, Jazz and Tea, wow, they're good. They're good. It was ripping Vietnamese coffee, and that's just the tip of the barrel. Let's cross the street. And these are the homes that are slowly being replaced here. These ones aren't even being taken care of anymore. It's just all boarded up. Okay. Looks like we can come on up here. And possibly get out. Looks like some people are walking through this area, so we'll see what's going on. If we double back, we double back. The Grove. This is the Vancouver Public Library right here, and a Montessori school. Okay, okay. This is Ash Street. No kids outside, so we're good. There's your Oakridge branch right there. It's also the Perret Center for Secular Jewish Culture. So, again, that is a prominent part of this neighborhood. Very prominent part of this neighborhood. Always important to recognize that. And you can learn karate in there too. There's a church behind there as well. Oh, there's a whole lot of stuff there. Not just a secular place for Jewish people, but also a church. Wow. So Trish, we'll get to see the back here. So this is where some of the old mall is. We're keeping some of the foundation of the old mall and the new mall. And these buildings right here where people actually live, people still live in them. They haven't torn those down. There's no real use to tear them down quite yet. Still useful. But this is how the mall has changed. The mall is gone. And now they're just building a huge new modern complex here. And this neighborhood will get a whole lot more urban. And what's going to happen here is there's going to be a snowball effect. Okay? Yeah. Just for using for a thumbnail. That's good. But there's going to be a snowball effect where this area is just going to it's just going to go, it's just going to explode. It's going to start to get bigger and bigger and bigger because of this complex that's going up right on over here. It's going to get super large, super busy, super big, all those types of things. And this area, whole area, is going to become way more urbanized, and then that's just going to spread out and connect to the downtown, and then boom, things start to change a whole lot faster. And especially with down in the culinary area as well, with the river district that's getting built, it's gonna, once those things start to merge, and it'll take years for things to merge, but you can start to see how things are coming together to build a giant, densify the downtown core and everything here. So I don't know where I can walk. Oh, we can walk this way. We're good to go. We can walk in the direction I wanted to go. So we can't walk this way. Don't try to walk this way. Okay, that's mainly for the construction workers. And you can see how they're doing some work there. Okay, but we can walk this way. And this is the way we wanted to go, so we're good to go. We do want to come back up to 45th. Well, we're gonna go stop by a cafe on over here first. BC Transportation Photography. Oh wow. Nice to have you on the stream. Good to have you here. Here's your Oakridge Christian Ministry. They got like a language school and stuff there, so it's probably Chinese or Japanese. Doesn't look Korean. And then this is the French Center right here. And of course there's a cafe in the French Center. You can see Alliance Française, Vancouver. Very cool. Let's go in. keep the camera on my face. Oh wow. They have a whole bunch of stuff. They even have burgers and stuff here. Wow. You can see how like big and airy and open this place is. Wow. Yeah, I'll keep the camera on my face. Hey, could I get a chai latte?
Yep.
And one of the mango slices?
Yep.
Thank you.
Chai tea latte, right?
Yeah, a chai tea latte.
Would you want it in 12 or 16 ounce?
A 16 would be great.
Okay. And a mango cake, right?
Yeah.
Would you want it for here or to go?
For here.
Can I get your name, please?
Jerome.
Yeah. Very good.
Thanks.
I'll grab your...
Yeah, no worries. There we go. Justin, good to have you on the stream. Oh, you did something that YouTube didn't want you to do. I hear ya. I hear ya. I hear ya. Yeah, sometimes we can't control that, which is unfortunate. So with Justin, I checked the ban list. None of the mods had also banned him, so something was going on. It looks like there was some kind of thing. Yeah, you can still fight it with YouTube if you want. Okay. But there's really nothing I can do about that, which is very unfortunate. When YouTube makes a decision, they just make a decision. So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Sorry you had to do that. Yeah, don't worry about the premium membership right now. Yeah, it's best that you cancel that, and if you want to get a new premium membership, you wait a month and get a new premium membership. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I laugh, otherwise I'd cry. Just waiting to see if they only got one person making drinks right now, and he's doing halftime on that. So yeah, let's try a little bit of the cake while we're waiting. Here, look at this thing. There, that's enough posing. This is like real mango right here. Wow. So they got real mango on top. Yeah, well, thanks for coming back, Justin. It looks like somebody's decaf has come. He's yelling pretty loud, so. It was really good. You can really taste, like, there's some of the mango right there. You can really taste the mango in this. There we go. Very, very good. Very nice cafe to have in this neighborhood. Yeah, and again, this is the, okay. This is the Elisi Cafe right on over here, in the Alliance Francais building. It's got like this chocolatey bottom crust to it. Yeah, like a chocolate bottom. Okay, so it's not like a wafer or anything at the bottom either. So it's got like you get through all of the nice layers, okay, of here the fruitiness, and it's like a whole blast of fruitiness and cream in your mouth, and then you get down to the bottom, and you get this like little savory, like sweet but also savory chocolate at the end, and there's like a thin layer of coconut underneath, between the cake and the chocolate, and chocolate wafer that's holding the whole thing together down here at the bottom. This is all coconut down here, and that bottom white layer. That's a tasty treat right here. This is a tasty treat. Right there, you can see the bottom, the chocolate layer at the bottom there. On a cross section of it, wow. Just a nice little work of art here too. Look how it holds together too. Like it's not really flopping apart too much. Like a little piece fell off there, but like it's pretty much holding together. Very well constructed. Oh, that's mine. That's good. Here's the chai. Nothing too special with this right here. So they dropped the tea bag in here. There's a tea bag in here. So we'll leave this here for another minute. Let it steep. Okay? And then it won't take me long to drink this one. And then from here we're gonna go on out. Okay, and then cover a little bit more ground. Okay. Check out Columbia Park, swing back through Langara, and then back to 41st Avenue Station. And that should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. Okay, we'll take the tea bag out. There's our chai tea latte. It's got like this nice creaminess on top. They definitely didn't just plop the tea bag in and let it steep. They made it all fancy after the tea had already started seeping. So there's a good chai flavor in here. Yeah, definitely like pretty good to see. So while you're over here, there's also sandwiches that you can get here, and they even have a house-made hamburger that's available. So if you want a whole meal, it is available here. Okay, it's not necessarily going to be the cheapest. Okay, you're dealing with about average prices for food on over here. So like around $6-7 for a drink. Okay, nice big drink though. Their drip coffee is a whole lot cheaper. It's around $3.50. They also have the sandwiches and stuff like that. Will go anywhere from $13 to $18. $18 for the hamburger. Very, very good to see. And you can see the Alliance Francaise sign right behind my head here, so you know exactly where we are. And so, yeah, welcome. A few other people have come onto the stream. Good to see you here. My name is Jerome Forestwood, and we are on our neighborhood checkup today, checking out the Oakridge neighborhood. So, good to see you folks here. Nice to have you here. Okay. And they also have wine and beer here as well. I've seen that. I saw that in the advertisements here. So, yeah, I guess that's available if you want it. But what a day! What a day! Let's see what the temperature is here. I'm gonna drop this this location as well as Jazz and Tea in here. We went to Jazz and Tea a little bit earlier. Got a Vietnamese iced tea. So we need to put that in here first. It's actually Pho Ha's and Jazz and Tea, or Pho Hoa and Jazz and Tea. So let me just pop that into the chat just so that if you want to go to these locations, you can have them. Oh wow! Well, at least the commercials are unskippable. That's good for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're at Alliance Francaise, but we're in the Elysee Cafe and Bistro. On Canby Street here. So I just put in Jazz and Tea right there, and that's with Pho Ha and Jazz and Tea. Okay, so that's your Vietnamese joint that's in the neighborhood. Okay, I just saw some of the food when I was walking in there. It looked absolutely delicious. There is also 2 bubble tea shops down here. There's a Chat Time just down here a little further. And across the street and up a little ways, there's a nice bubble tea shop there too. And there's an old, there's a newish sushi shop up the street too. So there is still some food that's in the area. And it's good to see Husband on the stream here. Asa from Go Go Go. And there's the other place there. Mark's saying, I don't think I like mango, but that looks like tasty treats. They got other things that are not mango, Mark, so you don't have to worry about it. There's other options.
So these are the guys for my fall.
Not everyone likes mango, that's true. That's so true. Asa's trying to convert you right now. Be careful. Be very careful. He's very convincing. Nah, it's just a nice day. Probably like 2 or 3 more gulps and then we're good. Oh wow, that was awesome. Let me take the stack up. Okay, let's go. Let's keep rocking and rolling. So this is where we are. The big building. And then this is the cafe in the big building right here. I was just saying, I'm exhausted before, I'm resting before a sunset stream. Yeah, that's true. Asif made some pizza straight from scratch, sauce and everything. It was awesome. It tasted so good. I looked at it, I was like, this pizza sauce is on point. He's like, really? I'm just like, yeah, it actually is. And I was being honest too. You can see me tease him every once in a while. I was not teasing him today. Okay, so let's keep going here. I'm gonna walk up to 44th and then head on over to Columbia Park. So let's keep going. Welcome to those people that just joined the stream. You're on your neighborhood checkup here with Jerome Forestwood, and we are checking out the neighborhood of Oakridge today. And then yeah, we come on down to different neighborhoods on the neighborhood checkup, and we just check it out. How often have you been to a lot of the neighborhoods here in Vancouver and actually explored them? You don't usually, unless you live in one of them. So this is what the neighborhood checkup gives people the opportunity to do, to see some of the neighborhoods that are here in the city that they may not have seen. Let's keep going, folks. Look at that right there. This new development, this Oakridge Centre, absolutely huge. There's gonna be grocery stores in here. The mall's gonna get way bigger. All of that type of stuff. And look at that right there. So there's a home behind here. And they're gonna build 2 ginormous towers here. They're gonna have 94 hotel spaces and 126 residential units. So that's condos. They're all gonna be here. They're replacing houses just like this right on over here. So this entire small little block here is just gonna go. Oh my gosh, what? What? The secret to food pizza sauce is fresh bagels. But wait, what? Justin, oh my gosh, thank you for the $50 super chat. Thank you for all you guys do for the subscribers. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. We will definitely do put that towards exploring more of the cities, and that includes also the food. Just so you can know what's available here in the area. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're also looking into different camera equipment, so there's a lot that we use the money that you guys provide us for. Okay, so this is 45th. I just don't want to take a risk with, no, this is 44th, so we gotta go this way. Okay, we're good. I'm on the right street. I thought I was on 45th. Yeah, so like these houses right here, right by here, they're all getting torn down right now. Because if you're living next to this thing, okay, developers are gonna pay you way too much money for a small little single family dwelling home so that they can build bigger buildings right there. Oh yeah, they'll offer you a whole lot of money. A whole lot. Usually they'll come in first and offer you, like look at this neighborhood. These are the typical homes that are here. Small little ones. I bet these people just haven't been offered yet. The developers haven't started to look inside the neighborhood yet. It's a little more modern, probably built a little more recently. Doesn't look brand new. And the people on over here, at one point in time, they'd buy a home over here for like, they were a little more pricey on over here. We were on the west side, but homes were like not $1 million, $1 million plus. It used to be like $600,000. So, little big city on the west coast. So our prices will come down a bit, but they're not totally down there yet. Okay, for the condo units, and once it starts going down for the condo units, then all of a sudden the house prices will also start to go down. And these are just patterns that I've seen before in other neighborhoods living in and around Toronto. Okay, again, not a real estate expert or anything like that. Just talking from like just pure lived life experience. So this is 44th. And here is a giant field. This is the Columbia baseball field. I'm gonna double check that name for you. Yeah, Columbia Park. Another giant park. We're just gonna cross the park. It looks like they're playing frisbee out there. And it looks like they got some kids on over there. So we'll head towards this bench over here. That'll give you an idea of the size of the field while keeping the kids off the camera. And we can turn around and take a look in a sec at some of the giant developments that are happening over here. So over here, this is where, and you can see we're really on 41st Ave right here, like up there beyond these towers here. Okay, that's probably 42nd there, and then 41st is behind it. There's the new towers right there. Those towers are out front on 41st. There's some of the towers right there too. You can really see. This is the only spot over in Oakridge where you can really see parts of the mountain. The further you go south, which is the majority of the neighborhood, that mountain view just immediately disappears. A block north of you, 407 West 43rd, was listed at 9.8 million a while back. Yeah, not surprised at all. I don't know all the home prices. I'm not an expert, but yeah, thanks for throwing that. Puts context into it. That just shows you how. Okay, so here's the thing: 9.8 million. What are the developers offering these people to tear down their homes and build condos on them? They gotta be offering them like $10 million a home. Wow. 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 That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Trish just put it into context for us. doggos are having fun. We're gonna try to keep the kids off the camera as much as possible. When I turn, you might see them, no big deal. You can just see, here's the developments right here. Okay, right up here, a whole bunch of them. And that's gonna change the entire neighborhood. That's Con, good to have you on the stream. Nice to have you here. So yeah, we're at Columbia and 44th. This might be 43rd. Yeah, this is 43rd. Okay. So head up to 42nd. There's a sidewalk here, but I want to keep that's the adults. The kids are there right now. So we'll walk on this side of the street. Trish is like, right? They must be offering them a mint. Yeah, they must be. They must be. So this is 42nd right here. Let's see where we are. Yeah, if we walk down 42nd, we'll walk past the school. I just wanted to show you the school. No kids are in the school right now. It's too late. It's too late for that. So this is 42nd Street here. And this will take you through some of the old neighborhood right here. Give you an idea of the homes that are here right now. Okay. Tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Out here. Beautiful, beautiful homes. Again, these aren't super huge. In Ontario, these are actually much cheaper. But because they're in Vancouver here, these are very, very expensive homes. And if Trish says 9.5 million, yeah, probably. I wonder what the home price is, because I used Gemini to estimate the home prices. I want to check the home prices again that I put in the description for us. Yeah, 2,000 to 2,400 for rent. Rent is generally cheaper here. Here's the elementary school here. Wow. And then the home prices are going for, it said 1.2 million to 1.1 million when you aggregated them together. So the 9.1 million is probably one of the few exceptions here, but still, that if there's one of those here, there's probably more of those here that we don't know about. Here's the local school. This would be Sir William Van Horn School. And again, more of a Los Angeles design. Flattish roofs. Normally you don't get the second levels very often, but you can here or there. Flattish roof is the big indicator of a low level. 1 or 2 floors, nothing much more bigger than that. And this is the border right here. If we cross the street, we leave Oakridge and we move into the next neighborhood. That's over here. Okay? Which I think is, I can't even remember. I think it's not South Canby. Let's see. I got the map right here. Oh, it's Sunset. So Sunset's on the other side. This is Sunset right here. Sunset right on over here. So that's Sunset right there. And this on over here, this is Langara, or Oakridge. Some people will call it Langara. That, it looks like a California design merged with an old. So this is more California design here for schools. Okay? And then on over here, this is your Sir William Van Horn School right here. This is your old school. It looks like in 1911. That's when that school was built. So that's the old school design right there. Wow. Yeah, 1911. So they got a mix of different developments on over here. This is your multi-layer level school right on over here. This is more classic Vancouver, British Columbia design. Got a giant playground for the kids over there too. Got all these maple trees. These aren't native to this area. These were planted. What? These were planted. So very, very interesting to see. So the school's been here for a long time. So this neighborhood has evolved over time. It was probably a small town at one point in time. So it'd be interesting to go back in history, and you probably have a small little hamlet of Oakridge, and then it became part of maybe, let's say, Point Grey or South Vancouver. I'm not quite sure. Okay, still learning the history there. And then became part of Vancouver when Point Grey in East Vancouver and South Vancouver and Vancouver all merged together. And now it is what it is. So just another neighborhood here in Vancouver. Wow. So welcome. A few other people have come onto the chat. We're just going down Ontario Street here. We are on our neighborhood checkup. So how often do you come to the different neighborhoods here in Vancouver? I've been knocking them off one at a time on a weekly live stream, usually Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays. And we go and we explore these neighborhoods that we don't normally go to. How often do you come to the Oakridge neighborhood? You don't unless you got a reason to be here. So, yeah. Here you get to see more of Vancouver and what Vancouver really looks like beyond the downtown core. So we're currently heading over to Langara. Within Oakridge is also the large golf course in the corner. Okay. On Ontario Street here too. Okay. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more blocks to go before we get to 49th, and then the Langara golf course is also part of the neighborhood, all the way down to 57th, except for Winona Park. That's part of Sunset. That's interesting. So there's a little jig and a jag on over here. Oh, look at these trees. These trees are huge. Wow. And these aren't the first generation. These are third or fourth generation trees. So they've allowed these trees to grow for a long time here. These are tall. These homes. So these homes are like multi-million-dollar, 1.1 to 2 million, all the way up to the occasional home getting up to like 9 million, according to Trish. Wow. Trish is asking, is Langara College still there? Yeah, Langara College is still there. That hasn't moved. That probably won't move. It'll definitely evolve and change. I know Vancouver Community College is currently building. Thanks, guys. Those are some good drivers there. Yeah. So they'll definitely build more complexes. There's probably some new complexes there that weren't there when you were over here in the neighborhood, and that I probably haven't seen any change of because they've been here for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's still there. So 47th, so we got 2 more blocks to go, and we're down there here. Do you want to watch the sunset stream later? Okay, Ash is going to be live streaming the sunset. He's going to be walking during the sunset, so you can check that out. Not sure where he's going from. Okay, Ash might not even know yet. But there'll definitely be a sunset involved, so you can gander where he's going to be. From that, probably a beach. Asif, let him know more if you got an idea. If you don't worry about it. But yeah, there you go. That'll be a few hours later. I'm gonna wrap up pretty soon. Probably got maybe another 30 minutes on here, and I'll be wrapping up. So you can come with me. Come, let's go. I'm gonna check out a little bit of Langara College, and then head on over to 49th Avenue Station. We're gonna also check out part of Langara Trail, okay, which goes across part of the golf course, but it's open to the public, that part. Looks like they're doing some more construction down here. Beautiful homes, beautiful garden. Look at that right there, beautiful garden. Asa's like, isn't that true? He's making me chuckle. So here we are, we're down at Langara College here. Okay. I'm 49th in Ontario. Let's see where I need to go here. Looks like I go in this direction. So this is the intersection of Ontario Street and 49th Avenue. And this one over here, this is Langara College right here. All of these trees. We're just waiting for the light to change. Looks like there's a trail up here. So it looks like they're doing pipe work here. I wouldn't be surprised that they're changing the pipes down here also to accommodate some of the new housing that's coming into the area. All along here on 49th Avenue too. Across from Langara, they're building new townhouses along here as well. So some for the students, some just because of the Oakridge development that's over here too. And it's just densifying the whole neighborhood. You can see some of the townhouses in the far distance there. There they are right there. Daniel, nice to have you on the street. Good to have you here. Langara College. Everyone. Look at these giant things here. So there'll be a few students in here right now doing summer classes, but it's not going to be super busy like it would be in the fall or in the spring. I have never actually filmed on campus before, so we are now filming on campus. So, first exploration of the campus with a camera. Pretty quiet building today. That's okay. So here is Langara College, guys. The grounds of the college. The main entrance right there. Lots of different areas. House Cotton's like very nice neighborhood, yeah. So this is one of the hearts of the Oakridge neighborhood, Langara College right here. Lots of outdoor studying here. Now this is a college, so it's going to be different from a university. A lot of the stuff that's taught over at the college is a little more technical, okay, but you can still get good degrees, good education. Okay, some people put down the colleges, but hey, when I finished university, I had friends going to college because their university degree didn't count for anything and they got their job through their college degree. That just tells you how important colleges actually are. If you're picking a university degree, what I'd recommend is just picking something that actually has some applicable skills to it. Something that you know you're going to get a job out of afterwards. Okay? Or go to a college. Or you don't even have to go to post-secondary education. A lot of people just learn in the field, or even better, they get an apprenticeship and they learn a skill or a trade. No, it grants uni degrees now. Oh, it does? Okay, Trish is educating me here. No, I love the, yeah, it's no longer just a college, it's a university too. Okay, I did not know that. Things change over time, okay? Again, feel free, like Trish is doing the right thing just by letting me know what's changed here on the ground. That's very cool. So it does both, college and university, okay. Yeah. again, you can get good university degrees, so there's nothing wrong with either one of them. So just make sure if you are choosing college or university, pick something where you're gonna get a job afterwards. I had some people, like I said, some friends who just didn't get jobs afterwards. So yeah, I got a job. But then again, they were always like, you're in the nerdy field. It's like, yeah. And I got a good job after that. Look at this. This is just beautiful right here. Beautiful. Wow. Either way, Trish, this campus is amazing. This is amazing. Look at this. They got like nice little benches right here so you can chill right by the water. That looks like part of the library there. Yeah, it is part of the library. Look. Library. Wow. Wow. Look at that right there. Wow. There we go. That's enough resting streamer face. Tris has like always been a lovely property. You are right about that. Wow. You're definitely right about that. They got a nice totem pole here too. Let's see what this looks like. This is your traditional welcoming figure. This is a Musqueam artist, so this is Musqueam. Very cool, very, very cool. And you can always freeze the screen if you want to read up on this right here. Okay. So feel free to freeze that screen and read up on it. Now, let's go around the building here today. You might be able to go this way. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get a shortcut. Okay. Shortcut successful. And hey folks, a few other people come onto the stream. You're on Jerome Forestwood right now. We're at Langara College and we're doing a neighborhood checkup of the Oakridge community. Good to have you on the stream. Let's see where that trail is. Okay. Oh, we're real close to it. Before we do that, I want to point out one thing. Okay. Right on over here. Across the way, they also have a YMCA. So here's the local YMCA right here. That's the front entrance right there. They got a parking lot to it and everything. Okay. There is a YMCA right on over there. Right next to the college, so another fitness facility right here. So yeah, that's available here as well. Important part of the community. Okay, let's keep going. We're good. And I heard there's a trail right down here. So we're gonna go this way and explore. I can imagine this place being much, much busier during the fall and the winter time. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if we can find a trail. So there is supposed to, I see the entrance. I got it. We're good to go. There's supposed to be an entrance to a trail here. There is. It's also where the Langara golf course is. So we'll see what's going on here. So there is a trail here. You can go along the trail. And there's part of the trail right there that goes all the way along the parking lot. Okay. And there is part of it that you need to, parking lots are closed and locked at a certain point in time. So yeah, they're keeping the trail separate. Over here is the golf course behind the fence here. So we'll go along the trail that goes past the golf course here. Oh yeah, there's golf balls like flying through here. What do we got here? Look at that, the driving range. Yeah, there's the driving ranges right there. Here's part of the golf course. This looks like the putter's green right here, where you practice putting before you get started. And then of course this is the clubhouse right there. They have a restaurant anyone can go into. I don't know how much it costs or anything like that. That's stuff that you need to figure out on your own. We're gonna go to the other side of the trail where those people are popping out. Well, it looks like a lovely facility for our golfers. It's good to see. This is a city of Vancouver property here. Here's the restaurant right here. It doesn't look open right now. Oh, maybe it is. Who knows? Yeah, it is open. It's the clubhouse in here. So in here they got different things. Okay. So little regular Vancouver prices here. Clubhouse $16. A burger will go you $19.50. Okay. They got beer in here and they got food in here. So you can sit down and just enjoy that. You don't have to be a member of the golf club to come on down here for the clubhouse. But if you play a round of golf, you're probably going to be here afterwards at the 19th hole. You can even see Vancouver Park Rangers here. So they take care of this park as well as all the other parks. You'll often see them over in Stanley Park as well. Keeping the peace. Good to see them out and about. They do really try to keep the peace here in the parks, which is awesome to see. Thank you, Park Rangers, for being awesome. Just like the VPD. Now the justice system, that's another thing altogether. But we're gonna stick on the happy stuff right now. You can always watch the news for that pouty pout stuff. Let's keep going. So this is the Langara Trail right here. It goes all the way around the golf course on the outside of the golf course. And this looks like we got some of the golf course workers right here. Looks like they're digging out some of the sand pits on over here. They regularly will need to be dug out. Sometimes they change it to dig a sand pit. These guys work hard. Work hard. You gotta mow that grass almost every day. Wow. Look at this person's backyard here. Again, more of these housing complexes here. These look like condos. Beautiful. And this backs onto the golf course property. These condos are probably pretty expensive. Last view of this part of the golf course right here. There's nice benches in here too. So there are places to sit. You can see one behind me here. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. So, yeah. If you haven't been in the neighborhood, it's good to come down and just explore. Go around corners, see what's going on. What's on over here? This is a cool spot to chill. All that type of stuff. Like, I'm always gonna know like this area now in my head. Gonna have a nice little mental map. The area might change a bit, but I'll know my way around a whole lot better. Just like always love the many huge trees on the course. Even the huge trees that are just here on the trail. Wow. And there's more on the course. That's true. That's true. Those are big and beautiful as well. Looks like here they have like a little bit of a naturalization buffer, probably to make the golf course a little quieter. It's good to see. Okay. So we're down here at 49th Avenue station. Let's head north and head to 49th Avenue. And we can wrap her up. And make sure I'm walking in the right direction. Yeah. We're good. So this is Canby Street, and we're down below 49th Avenue. And see some of the condominium units that have been built on over here in this area. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood.
It's Fried Chicken Friday.
Not yet. That's tomorrow. There you go. We got someone who watches acid stream on over there. Fried Chicken Friday. Literally called it out on camera. Just a lot more people know acid than me than we know. We know people. Probably surprised to see me walking around the neighborhood there. Nice to have you on the stream either way. Yeah, that was awesome. So a lot of people will walk down this strip right here. They're coming from 49th Avenue. Langara 49th Avenue station. That's what they call it. Langara 49th Avenue. And apparently the condominiums that were backing onto the golf course are part of this long fenced-in area here that's called the Langara Estates. So that's kind of like condominium estate properties. Like a real townhouse feel. Pretty interesting. Calvin, I thought this is your house. What house are you talking about, Calvin? Which one? There's many around us right now. You're not being specific. You need to be specific. Calvin hasn't studied. Sorry, Calvin. That's unfortunate. Good to have you on the stream. And we're at 49th Avenue Station. This is a real hub of activity on over Langara 49th Avenue Station. And there's the 49th Avenue bus you can ride. And I'll take you down all the way over to Sunset on Fraser neighborhood and Victoria Drive. And if you need to go the other way to UBC, the bus stops right on over there, right across the street. Here's the 15 Olympic Village Station bus too. So this will shoot right down Cambie Street, the Olympic Village Station. And we're gonna head on in here. Okay, so come on with me right now. Let's head on now. Very busy bus route. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But no rapid buses here at Langara 49th Avenue Station. The 49 bus acts similar to it, but it still stops at every single stop as you're going through the station. We'll see if we can get on the train. We'll see. We just got on the train.